This is the sine wave. Now, watch its slope. Steep here, flat at the peak, falling through the middle. Plot that slope on its own, and you get cosine. Perfectly. The derivative of sine is cosine. Every textbook says so.
But why?
Forget the graph. Sine was born on the unit circle. Sweep out an angle, theta, and mark the point. Sine of theta is just the height of that point. As theta grows, the height rises and falls. That's the whole wave. And here's the key. The radius is 1, so the arc traveled equals theta itself. Increase theta at a steady rate, and the point moves at a speed of exactly 1. But moving which way?
Not outward.
A point on a circle moves at a right angle to its radius. So take the radius, turn it 90 degrees, and plant it on the point. That's the velocity. The position is cosine theta, sine theta. Turning 90 degrees swaps the two coordinates and flips a sign, giving minus sine theta, cosine theta. True everywhere on the circle. Now split that velocity, sideways and upward. The upward part is cosine theta, but the height was sine theta. So the rate the height changes is cosine. That's the derivative. Watch them agree. At the top, the point slides purely sideways. The height freezes, the graph goes flat, cosine is 0. At the far side it drops at full speed. Cosine is -1, the graph at its steepest. All the way round, the slope of sine is the height of cosine. So, these aren't two functions that happen to be related. They're one circular motion, read along two perpendicular directions. And differentiating is just a quarter turn. Turn sine, you get cosine. Turn again, minus sine. For turns, and you're home.